plans?
Yep, they can do that too. They can pay it off at any time, things like that. So now as far as our sales ratio goes, if we have one of our students like Michaela or if Jessica on our team, if they go out and do 10 appointments this weekend, and 10 appointments, that's just easy math to figure out. It could be 7 or 18. But if someone does 10 appointments, how many of those families do you think would buy at least something? Whether it's a knife, a cutting board, a pair of scissors, after seeing what you saw.
6 or 7. I'd go 60% or so.
60% or so? What did you say?
Like 7.
7%? What did you say,
I
Brittany?
said 6 or 7.
6 or 7?
I go 70, 80.
70 or 80? Okay. Now we do have some people on our team, someone like Megan, she sells about 90% of the time. She's been here for 2 years, she's a sales manager in the office. But someone like Graham, he just started in May, he also sells about 90% of the time. Someone like Kevin or Michaela, they sell about 80%. And they're our key staff members. And then we have some people who are brand new, fresh out of training, and the average sales ratio is about 60% or so. And if you're thinking higher, don't feel silly because, like I said, our top people have a higher selling ratio. But why do you think the majority of our customers purchase after seeing what you saw?
Well, one, they're also referred, so you're automatically knowing they're interested, but just because it's more impressive than most things people have around their house to use.
Okay. Yeah, basically, after seeing what they saw, people can tell that it works. And in a store, if someone goes to a store to buy knives and things like that, they usually just browse, and they end up buying about 10% of the time if they're in a store, because they can't really open them up and try them out, things like that. So 60% is the average sales ratio. And now the way that our representatives build up their customer base, again, they don't go door to door or anything like that. And if we sold it on TV, obviously it's not believable really on TV. I think infomercials are kind of funny, they're on at like 1 in the morning, but to sell it on TV, what would we have to do to our prices?
Bring them down.
Yeah, we have to go up because of the advertising and things. And where would the pay for our representatives go if we had to advertise on TV?
Go down.
They would go down. So word of mouth advertising, how much does that cost?
Nothing.
Nothing, it's free, but it's the most believable form of advertising. And there are a lot of great products out there that don't have to advertise because they have a great reputation. If you think of cars, usually cars, you don't really see, Lamborghini commercials on TV, or even like, you don't see very many BMW or Mercedes commercials. What car commercials do you normally see on TV?
Toyota.
Saturn, Toyota, Dodge, and there's nothing wrong with those cars, but the ones that are higher quality or have good reputations, they don't need to advertise because they're just known for being good quality. So the target market of customers that we have, the majority of our orders are from people that meet these guidelines, so our representatives show to people who are the most qualified customers. And the majority of our customers are about 30 to 60 years old. Now obviously every now and then we get orders from people who are a little bit younger or older. The majority of them are people who own houses, because people who own a house are used to buying things for their home. People with full-time jobs, and then couples or families, married couples, people like that. And I'll just use, this is Jessica, her on the board here. Okay, so Jessica, at the end of her appointments, she'll always thank the customer for their time, whether or not they buy. She'll say, thank you so much. What did you think of Cutco? What do you think people will tell her?
Very impressed.
Yeah, they say they like the product. And she'll say, great, because here's where you can really help me out. And then she'll say, I get paid every time I show Cutco, but I can only show it to people that I've been given permission to contact, so I can't go door to door with a bunch of knives. And she'll say, how many people do you think would get a kick out of my demo? Like, who do you know that you think would like this? They don't have to buy anything, I get paid just to show it to them. Helps me toward a scholarship. And if I just asked you personally, Matt, how many people do you know that you think would get a kick out of the demonstration?
Most of my family, my boss from my restaurant I worked at.
Okay.
So,
If you threw a number out there, people that you know that you think would like the product, even if they didn't buy everything in the book.
around 20.
20? Okay. And if you had to throw a number out there, how many people do you know personally, Alicia?
10 to 15.
10 to 15? What would you say, Brittany?
About 8 to 10.
8 to 10?
It's like 15.
15? Okay. Now, Fortune 500 magazine said that the average person is associated with about 1,000 people by name, especially with social networking like Facebook and things like that. Now, personally, I've never had a customer give me 1,000 friends to go see. On average, we actually get about 6 recommendations from each customer. So that's the average. So the average is 6 recommendations from each customer. And what the customer will do is they'll usually recommend Jessica to the 6, the people that they are the most comfortable with or that they know that would be nice and sit down with Jessica. So what our customers also like is that when they give leads to our reps, that representative is the only person who will contact the people they were given from them. And why do you think our customers feel comfortable giving recommendations?
Because they're not sending random people to their friends' houses and it's not, it's more personal.
It's more personal. They like Jessica. They know that she's a nice girl, that she's not going to be pushy or rude or aggressive, and they like the product, so they don't mind, obviously, helping her out and helping their friends. So let's say that Jess just does 10 appointments this week, and if she just does 10 appointments this weekend, And if she averages 6 recommendations from each of them, how many new people will she have to contact next
At
week?
least 60.
At least 60 people. If she goes out again the following week and just does 10 more appointments, she'll have another 60 recommendations on average on top of what she has left over from the week before. And it keeps growing. Jess has been here since May, so she has a positive problem. She has a lot of customers. And she just obviously is more selective and things like that. So she controls several things about the job. And let's see here. One over that. And the snowball effect, obviously her business keeps growing. So our representatives control their location. They don't go all over New York State doing appointments with people. Jess lives in Endwell, so she likes to work within 5 to 10 miles of Endwell, Endicott, that area. However, there are no territories. So as far as the territories go, Jessica is engaged, her fiance. They met in college, and he actually is from Pittsburgh. And so when she goes to see him in Pittsburgh, when she's there for like a week, you know, when he's off doing other things, what do you think she wants to do? Yeah, so she just came back from Pittsburgh and did a whole bunch of appointments and things like that. So our representatives, they don't have territories, but obviously they stay local. They don't just randomly, you know, line up appointments in Pittsburgh and things like that. Someone like Christina Ayala, she goes to school here at Binghamton University. Actually, she just graduated, but before she graduated, she went to school here. And when she was home for spring break this past spring, when she went to Poughkeepsie, where she's from, what do you think she wanted to do? Yeah, she wanted to do appointments, so she did appointments there during spring break. So the second thing our reps control, probably their favorite part about the job, especially for students, is the scheduling. And our representatives like knowing that they Thank you very much. They actually control their schedule on a week-to-week basis. So I allow them to work around things that they've got going on. And we teach them a lot about time management. So what we do is we have them put in their classes first, or things that they can't move, that obviously they're fixed in their schedule. And then they just basically tell me when they want to do their appointments. And we help them, obviously, to map out their schedule. So this is very part-time. It's kind of like Michaela on our team. This is her schedule, very similar to her schedule. She'll do like 2 appointments on a Monday, then like 3 on a Friday, 5 on a Saturday, and take a Sunday off. Okay, or you know, our students are similar to that. And so during finals week, what's it like for a student usually?
We're busy.
Very hectic.
Yeah, very hectic. So if I told our representatives that during finals week I want them to do like 30 appointments, how do you think they would feel? Yeah, stressed out. Yeah, so someone like Jessica Huey, last semester, she's taking biology and anthropology double major. And so during finals week, she was a little overwhelmed, so she just did a couple of appointments and worked around her schedule. Now after finals week, or during like summer break or winter break, what's it like for a student? Yeah, what do you think our students like to do?
Full-time?
Yeah, they like to work more full-time. So this is really part-time. That's $132.50 that they make just in the base pay alone, because the $13.25 times 10 is $132.50 that make there, not including like incentives, which I'll talk about in a moment. Now this is more of a full-time schedule. Okay, someone like Jessica Bush, actually her schedule's kind of like this, or like Kevin on our team, and they'll just load up their day with appointments and still take, you know, a couple days off there. And that's 26 appointments in a week. So 26 with the base pay of $13.25 is at least $344 with the base pay alone. And our representatives also like knowing they don't have to let me know months in advance if they've got something going on. For instance, Kevin on our team last week, he's like, Mandy, I have Red Sox tickets, I'm going to Boston this weekend, so I'm just going to do all my appointments this week. I said, okay. So we did a whole bunch of demos, turned in a bunch of orders, and then took a weekend off and just went with his friends to Boston. So flexibility doesn't mean that our reps wake up in the morning and they wonder if they're working. What that means is that they design their schedule at the beginning of the week and they just stick to their schedule. So the more appointments our reps do, or when our reps control the amount of appointments that they do, what do you think happens to their paycheck?
Goes up.
Yeah, so they control their work, so they control their paycheck as well. They manage their time. And the majority of our students will work evenings, weekends, that kind of thing, but obviously they control their schedule. And next what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over training. And I know you don't know who has a position and who doesn't, but I'll still have you take some notes, obviously, on the training so that we can understand how it works thoroughly. And training is broken up into 3 different phases. And the first phase of training is basic training. It's here at this office. I run all of the training. So obviously our reps get great training. Just joking. Here at this office, it's one time, and our representatives don't have to pay for the training, like the students do at Michigan State University when they go through the class, because it's a course. So here they get the training for free. Now the basic training is unpaid. Our reps don't get paid for it because it costs me money to get them started. I supply the products for them to borrow for free. The rope, leather, order forms, all that they have for their entire career, manuals, things like that. And so 3 half days. The first day of training, we talk about the products, and they learn the basics of what each knife is for. And we role play a lot. So they practice a demo and then practice some more. And the more role playing our representatives do, Matt, what do you think happens?
The better they get.
Yeah, the better they get, the more confidence they have. Megan Cordy, when she first started training, her first day she was super nervous. And by the 3rd day she was really excited and ready to go. And that was 2 years ago. But that basic training, she still uses everything from that today. The second day we talk about people. Our representatives set up their first appointments while they're here in the office.